Hello, future engineers, and welcome to a quick tutorial on Tuxedo. For this one, I have given you a multi-view of the part that I want you to draw. We are making multi-views, so I want you to be able to read these multi-views. One of the best approaches when we're modeling from a multi-view is to pay attention to what face the dimensions appear on. So when I'm looking at this front face, I see the dimensions of 3 and 4 for my radiuses. Those dimensions typically mean that I want to use those when drawing this face. So if I'm starting with drawing this front face, which I am, I'm going to be using these dimensions. This little height for these nubs are going to come in later, but these are the ones that I'm going to start with. So I'm going to use these in my front face when I start drawing. So let's go over to Inventor and get started. So we had a radius of 3 and a radius of 4. Those are going to translate to two circles. They both are going to have, well, one's going to have a diameter of 6, that's our radius 3 circle, and the other one is going to have a diameter of 8, that's my radius 4 circle. Then I'm going to draw in a line straight across here and trim out the parts that I do not need. It's going to leave me with these two green lines that I am just going to dimension up like this one, and this one. Cool. Now that I have that done, I'm going to finish sketch, extrude, and let's go to a distance of 6. I'm getting that distance from my drawing. It's on the top view because we're extruding back our depth, which you will remember our top view includes our width and our depth. All right, let's take a look at that drawing too. Oop, one far ahead. There we go. That's where I got the 6 from. Now, I've drawn in this shape, and I want to draw in these shapes over here. In order to draw this in, I could start from my top view, but I really don't have a top view because this is rounded. I can't click on that surface. So I'm going to start drawing on the bottom view. And one thing to note is there is this little misalignment between this edge and this edge over here, and that's because this extrudes through the arc. So when I draw in this shape, I'm going to draw through my arc so that they extrude together, leaving no gap at all. We'll get to that in a little bit later, but the first thing that I want to start with in drawing these little nubbins is to draw in these circles. There are 4 circles with a diameter of 1, and they are 5 from the center, and then 2 from an edge and 2 from each other, splitting up that 6 perfectly with 2, 2, and 2. Let's start with drawing those 4 circles. Cool. So I'm going to start my 2D sketch on the bottom face. Let's rotate this around. Cool. And I've got 4 circles, and I'm actually just going to draw 2 right now, and then I'll mirror it later. So I'm going to dimension the circle's distance from here to here. That should be a distance of 5. Its distance from here to this top edge should be 2, and then the size of it is a diameter of 1. Then I'll draw in another circle over here. It's aligned with this one. It's also equal in size, so I'll set them equal to each other. And the distance between these is 2. I'll set the distance from my center point to be 5. And I've got these 2 circles placed where I want them to be. The other thing that I want to do is I want to draw in that round that goes around them. And that's actually given to me right over here. I've got a radius of 1, which are these edges over here, and these perfectly go into each other. So they're tangent with each other. So I'm going to draw in those next. There are 4 of them. I'm just going to draw 2 and then mirror it later. Cool. Go back over to Inventor, grab a circle tool, and I'm going to draw in diameter of 2, which is a radius of 1. Cool. And now I need to connect these lines. So I'm going to go from this edge, and this is where it goes back. I'm drawing all the way back to this edge over here, drawing out this way, down 4, back up, and then drawing across this way. Cool. There's some tangent constraints that I need to throw in here, making sure that those all line up. And then this one, I do need to throw in a dimension, probably from here to my center point. Yeah, there we go. There's some extra lines in here that I'm just going to trim out. We don't need these. And I'm left with this shape. Perfect. that's a shape that I want, and I want to eventually mirror this. So in order to mirror this, I'm going to grab my line tool and I'm going to draw a line down the center. Let me move this dimension so you can better see that line, and I'll move this dimension as well too. All right, so we got this blue line here. Now, best practice is to turn this into a construction line. So I'm going to do that. We haven't quite covered construction lines yet, but basically they're lines that we put into our drawing just to make sure that everything is fully constrained. We're using them as references, just like these yellow lines that appear from previous lines that we've drawn. So in order to make this a construction line, I can just right click on it and click on construction, or there's this little toggle up here with the line selected. I can turn on and off construction. Sweet. Now that I have this construction line in the middle, it's going to act as my mirror plane. So I choose my command mirror, I select the geometry that I want to mirror, all these shapes, including this edge over here, go over to my mirror line, select that construction line I drew, hit apply, and now I've got one on each side. I can click finish sketch, go to my home view, and then extrude. I'm extruding the internal face over here and this one over here. When I swap it to flip up, it's going to change to cut, but I want this to be a join property, and we're extruding them up a height of 1. I click OK, and there we go. It's all done. So I'm going to go over to iProperties, Physical, Update, and these are the values that I got. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, please make sure that you're reaching out. I will talk to you later. Bye.